Hello and welcome. I am Snyder from Snyder's Sunshine Art Studio, where creativity shines. With over 20 plus years of public school teaching experience, I bring step-by-step art instruction and ready-to-use art lessons to spark creativity in students and offer art teachers a much-needed reprieve. So let's create something wonderful together.
Now, isn't that a very cute hedgehog creature? Yes, hedgehog. Hey, I'm Snyder from Snyder's Sunshine Art Studio. So thankfully you're here so that I can share with you how to draw this adorable hedgehog. Now, just a side note, there is this hedgehog that apparently can ball up and go at high speeds and run around and do crazy stuff with the rings. A.M. Snyder didn't know exactly who Sonic the Hedgehog was. We had a Xbox game of Sonic, and then instantly the movies came about. And now I think I understand more about Sonic the Hedgehog. Well, we are not going to draw Sonic, but we are going to draw this cute hedgehog right here. And we are going to start with our two circles on top of each other. And I'm going to have a small circle and then a bigger one. And if you wish to trace something, you can do that. I am drawing lightly so that I can erase well. Okay, they are about halfway in the middle here. And now I'm going to draw a plus sign on the smaller one. And halfway down the stem from the center up, halfway I'm going to draw its hairline, the quill line. So, in the middle of the pizza pie slice, letter V, come in to the middle, come out. And then, right in this pizza pie slice, if you're looking at how I divided that, I'm going to give it its little curvy ears. And then, within the pizza pie slice, about halfway, we are going to draw its adorable eyes. Right here is where the plus happens, so between the center and the bottom here, we can find the center and put in its nose. I'm drawing like a diamond shape. I'm going to have the hedgehog look down at the strawberry it's eating because it's yummy and it wants to look at it. We're going to give it its mouth of, oh my, how delicious is that going to be? Straight line and a circle. And then we're going to put in its arms here. We're going to use, you know what I think I'm going to do? I'm going to find its mouth, the bottom of its mouth, and extend a curved line. So here's the side of its face. And curve it right there, just like that. And then I'm going to bring in its other arm right here. The other part of its arm, excuse me. And we're going to give it some fingers here with a bumpy line, a long bumpy line. I will be honest, I didn't research how many fingers they have. I'm just going to give them 5, just like us. Our hedgehog is not totally realistic. It's cute. That's the goal. Okay, so now it's looking like it's holding its belly. It's cute, adorable belly, right? Okay, so let's add in its feet down here, right below its hand. We are going to draw the letter U. Below its hand over here, I'm going to angle this one. And we're going to give it some toes. A little off there. And we can fix it when we Sharpie it. I think I want it to be more narrow as well. Alright. long bumpy line. Long bumpy line. All right, now we're going to add all its little quills up here, right where that V is. It's kind of like one of those floppy V's for a bird. I'm going to use long, curvy lines. They can kind of go to a point as well. And they're going to the side as his quills, her quills, its quills, go out. And we're going to pile them on its head. Long and short ones to develop its spikiness. Alright, so I'm going to show you what I would suggest you don't do. I could see some of you do this zigzag, and then you do another zigzag, and another zigzag. You know, that would work, but it's not going to look as detailed as the way I'm doing it. So I'm going to erase that. I'm actually drawing each one separate, so they can go in the angle I want them to go. Add a little extra to them, just to puff him out just a little more. Alright, now we're going to go to its face. So we're going to use a very nice zigzag around its face and puff its cheeks out a little bit. And around its body here. And then we're going to add its quills again, going in the direction that makes sense. Pile on one, maybe add a few behind its ear. It is not something that can be quickly done. You can take your time, as I am. And as the construction truck goes past my window, making its lovely sounds. And I'm going to do some over here. I'm going to turn it this way. I think, yeah, letter V's. It's going to work better for me. Varying the width, the length will make it look much better. Oh, he's pretty puffy. I like him. Okay, you can see how different, no matter following the same directions, how different we can make them look. All right. So now, what's the next thing I want to do? Oh, let's draw a strawberry. And draw a strawberry this way. So it's upside down, so it's going to take a bite of the pointy part. And add a little zigzag for the leafy part, the greenery of the stem. And then we're going to add these little seeds. They're all following each other, kind of like a broken line. Yummy, yummy. Let's give it a little tongue in here. Some little dots. It has some whiskers. I'm not going to do that because I'll do it with Sharpie. And then let's give it some kind of environment where it's sitting or laying, I guess. It should be laying, huh? So we'll just add some leaves and things that are coming out from under it. Leaves and things coming out from under it. Wavy lines and bumpy lines. And some additional leaves that are star-like. And drawing behind to layer it. Alright, I'm going to draw the star-like leaf over here, so letter V, and then less than, greater than symbols, upside down V. Okay, alright, so we have it drawn. Now we're going to get our Sharpie and we're going to Sharpie it. Now I'm going to use the narrow Sharpie for this instead of a wide Sharpie. Start with these quills. Alright, now this is going to take a little bit of time, so I'm going to fast forward and edit the video so you don't have to hear any of my ramblings, and I'll come back to you when it's all Sharpie and it's all amazing, like a coloring book page. And while I do mine, you can do yours. How cute, how cute. Alright, so you can see I've Sharpied all those quills, and now I'm working out the remaining parts here. And as I was going, I added a few extra quills to make it look a little more puffier. And I was referring back to my original drawing for a moment, and I will bring that back so you can compare what I originally did before I decided to film and teach it to you. Alright, so with this one, the hedgehog is looking to the side because the strawberry is more on the side. Strawberry is in the center, so it's looking down. The quills are more layered to angle down as well. There aren't as many as I put on this one. I also have a few that are flying off the hedgehog on the top of its head as well. This one's a little fuller than that one. I also shaded this one, and the reason I did that was because I made a little mistake here, and I was trying to camouflage it. So there's that little secret of A.M. Snyder's drawing mistake. But anyway, you can see that we problem solve as we go along because you can't erase Sharpie, right? Alright, so let's continue with this one. I'm going to add a few little details in here with the plant life, little veins and the leaves, and going to its face in a moment and adding some hairs in its face. And I'm going to thicken up some of these lines to make it stand out. And in here as well. And I'm going to thicken up the lines around its eyes. And add some hairs, short lines, about its face. And in here, short little lines just to make it look like it has some fur or textures. That makes sense. Now I think some of these hedgehogs have little markings on their bodies too. I think it has too many toes, so beware of that. It's still cute. And add some shading or shadowing. Pretty sure it has too many toes, but oh well. And now we get our eraser and we erase. Okay, go away eraser. Done. And I'm looking at it and thinking, what else do I want to do with it? So my original one had some darker areas to it because of that mistake, and I like that. So I'm going to make some areas darker, and that will help it look more bold, and then we get to color it in. Now I'm not going to film the coloring process on this particular video, but I may later on put that out there so you can see how I color it. I'm actually thinking, as I was tracing over everything, of printing, copying the image and printing 2 or 3 and playing around with color so that you, the audience, could see how we could make it look realistic with real colors, or we could make it blue like Sonic, or rainbow, or whatever our creative minds want to do. I was also thinking of Zentangles and what we could do with Zentangles on our hedgehog. All kinds of possibilities are always floating around in A.M. Snyder's head, and ideas are wonderful. If you have ideas of what we could do with our hedgehog, by all means, leave me a comment, and I'll brainstorm on it. So I'm going in and actually coloring with my thin Sharpie areas to darken. I always tell students not to color with Sharpies, but hey, you're not a classroom full of kids who have to share the same materials every day and all week long, and we only have so many materials. You are watching with me, so you probably can get away with it. As a public school teacher, art teacher, I'm always about getting one sheet of paper. Do not color with the Sharpies. Be kind to the erasers. And if you're an art teacher, you absolutely know what I'm talking about. It always amazes me when students will take wide Sharpies and they will color areas with them when there's actual markers there, and black marker is right there. You could use that. So using up all the juices of the Sharpies, which I see as detail or outlining tools. I don't see them fully as coloring tools. So by darkening those little overlaps, you can see how its quills stand out more. And I tend to want to add some there, apparently. And darken its fingers here. And its mouth. Even the extras here, the outlining could be darkened, even though they're more of an afterthought to fill in the space and not make the hedgehog look like it's floating. And background elements here. And I'm thinking of strawberry now that my hand went over it, thinking, oh, we should darken it also. And that will bring us to the end of our video. Interestingly enough, I, A.M. Snyder, have a hedgehog lesson plan, a resource on Teachers Pay Teachers that I made. The drawing for that lesson was made many, many years ago. I don't even remember in my teaching career. And I had many copies of it, and I kept thinking, what do I do? It's probably 20 years old. What do I do with this? I always want it for a substitute lesson, but I never use it. So I finally decided on what to do with it. And so you can check that resource out at Teachers Pay Teachers. And I hope that you have enjoyed drawing our hedgehog here. How cute is that hedgehog? There was the original one I drew before sharing this one with you. you can see how these quills are slightly different than those quills. Again, I am Snyder, so very thankful that you have joined me here. And as mentioned, the Teachers Pay Teachers resource, I have the copy of the outline of the hedgehog, and in the resource I explain the different options to produce those quills and the idea of putting our hedgehog in an environment, some creative drawing skills there, and imagination, brainstorming with your students, great for a substitute lesson. Originally, I had the concept that students cut out colorful triangles and attach them to make the quills, but then in time I decided they would draw zigzags or draw the triangles and then layer them to give it texture, add a background, and then cut out whatever the hedgehog is possibly walking through that's getting stuck into its quills. So if you are interested in that resource, please again check it out at Snyder Sunshine Art Studio on Teachers Pay Teachers. And as well, make sure you check out Snyder Sunshine Art Studio blog at www.snydersunshineartstudio.com. And Snyder here to send you off with another creative how to draw and other creative thoughts. Until next time. Bye-bye.